This unit includes a poem, class discussion, then a story, The Talkative Barber, and another poem, A Lion. Let us read, understand, and enjoy the poem, Class Discussion, written by Gervais Finn. This beautiful poem is about a little girl, Jane, who does not speak much. The situation is, the class is engaged in class discussion with their teacher. And, during the discussion, the students and teachers are all actively taking part in the conversation. All of them are busy with discussing the topic and contributing their points. On this outset, the teacher finds that a girl, Jane, is not participating in the conversation. She does not discuss anything and sit in silence. She just curiously looking at everyone. On seeing this, the teacher asks her if she has any problem. To this, Jane then gives a very befitting reply. She says that everyone is not alike. The people in the world are of different nature, in every manner. She adds on that there are certain people who prefer to listen much than talking. Now, listen and repeat the poem, Class Discussion. In the class discussion, Jane, you hardly said a word. We all aired our opinions, but from you, we barely heard. You sat and stared in silence, surrounded by the chatter. Now, tell me, Jane, and please be plain, is there anything the matter? Jane looked up and then she spoke. Her voice was clear and low. There are many people in this world who are rather quiet, you know. Hope you have enjoyed the poem. Please go through the questions given and try to answer them. Here is the story, The Talkative Barber, taken from the famous and classic Arabian Nights. Long, long ago, a sultan, whose name was Shahryar, ruled over a large kingdom. His queen was a good storyteller. Each night she would tell a story to the king. She narrated ancient Persian and Arabic folk stories. This is one of the stories from the Arabian Nights. This story is about a barber living in the city of Kashgar who talks non-stop. One fine day, a sultan calls the barber for shaving as he was expecting guests. He talks non-stop and does not complete his work. The barber goes on and on and on. The sultan was fed up with his worthless stories. He wants somehow to get rid of him. Let us read, understand, and find out what happens to the talkative barber. In the city of Kashgar lived a barber who was a great talker. Once the sultan called the barber to shave his head. The barber started talking non-stop instead of shaving him. The sultan got angry. When are you going to stop talking and begin to do your work? The barber replied, You do me an injury by calling me a chatterer. 4. Everyone says I am very quiet. I have 6 brothers whom you might call chatterers. Their names are Buckbon, Bukburia, Bukbuk, Al-Kuz, Al-Nashi, and Shor-Kaebak. One is humpbacked, one is toothless, one is half-blind, one is quite blind, one is deaf, and the other has a defect in his speech, and they are all great talkers. But I am the youngest of my family, and I am very quiet and sparing with words. Give him 3 pieces of gold, the Sultan cried, losing all patience, and send him away. I will not be shaved today. My master, cried the barber, it was not I who came to seek you, it was you who ordered me to come. So I will not quit your house till I have shaved you. He then began narrating another story, which lasted half an hour. Stop making your fine speeches, and let me go quickly. I have an affair of the greatest importance. I have to go out at noon, said the Sultan. When he saw that the Sultan was really angry with him, the barber said, "O master, do not be angry. I will begin to shave you." Saying this, he washed the Sultan's head and began to shave. But he had not touched him even 4 times with the razor, when he stopped and said, "My master, you are acting hastily in this matter. Go on shaving me, speak no more," ordered the Sultan. "Be patient," said the barber, "perhaps you have not considered well what you were going to do. I wish you would tell me what this matter of great importance is all about, and then I will give you my opinion on it." "Finish shaving at once," the Sultan exclaimed. But instead of doing this, the barber left the Sultan half-shaved to go and see what time it was. "My patience is exhausted," the Sultan cried. "Be calm, my master, and you shall be shaved in a moment," said the barber, and saying this, he continued shaving the Sultan. But while he was doing this, he could not help talking. "If you could inform me what this important affair is, I would give more advice, which you might find useful," he said. The Sultan was completely fed up by now and decided to satisfy the barber. He told him that he was giving a feast to some friends at noon, which was why he was in a hurry to leave. When the barber heard the Sultan mention a feast, he exclaimed, "That reminds me, yesterday, I invited 4 or 5 friends to come to my house today. But I had quite forgotten it and have not made any preparations for them." The Sultan, who was at the mercy of the barber, was ready to do anything to be rid of him. "Be quick and finish your work," the Sultan replied, "and you shall have all the food that has been prepared for me today. Please show me the food so that I may judge if it is enough for my 5 friends." "I have enough food for you," the Sultan exclaimed. But he ordered that all the food prepared for his feast be brought in. The barber looked over the food and said, "This is very good, but I shall want some fruit for the dessert also." The Sultan, in desperation, since his head was half shaved, ordered that the fruits should also be brought in. The barber left off shaving the Sultan to examine each dish separately. This took up half an hour. The Sultan stamped his feet impatiently, but the barber did not hurry. At length, however, he again took up the razor, but after a few minutes of work, stopped suddenly and cried, "I never knew that you were so generous." Hope you have enjoyed the story. Please go through the questions given and try to answer them. Now recite aloud a short poem, A Lion, written by Joseph G. Francis, and try to identify the rhyming words. A lion emerged from his lair. For a short summer cut to his hair. But the barber he wept, while his customers slept, as they waited their turn in the chair. Hope you enjoyed the poem. Did you identify the rhyming words? Happy learning. Have a good day.